Have you ever noticed how the most powerful people say the least? They don't beg. They don't shout. They simply withdraw, and the whole energy shifts. Suddenly, people notice, people wonder, people chase. Because silence makes noise in people's minds. Now imagine if you stopped being so available, if you didn't jump to reply, if you didn't feel the need to explain, if you chose peace over performance. What would happen? Let me tell you, the people who once controlled you through guilt, expectations, and your own emotional habits, they would lose their grip. That's the power of becoming unavailable. Carl Jung said, everything that irritates us about others can lead us to a better understanding of ourselves. But here's the flip side. Everything that irritates others about your silence reveals who they really are. Because when you pull back, they panic, not because they miss you, but because they miss the version of you that was always there to fix, please, explain, sacrifice. Let's be honest. You've spent years saying yes when you meant no, texting back when you were tired, smiling when you were hurt, all to keep peace with people who were never really at war for you. You weren't loved. You were accessible. But here's the truth no one tells you. Being too available isn't kindness. It's self-abandonment. When you say yes to everything, you leave yourself behind. When you react to every trigger, you give away your power. And when you always show up, no one values your presence. Because what's too easy to reach is too easy to take for granted. Carl Jung talked about the persona, the mask we wear to be accepted, and most of us are trapped behind it, pleasing, performing, reacting, desperate to be needed, and terrified to be alone. But let me tell you this, there is a version of you waiting on the other side of silence, a stronger, calmer, wiser version, one who doesn't rush to defend, one who observes before responding, one who has nothing to prove because they finally remembered their worth. True power is in choosing your response, not being driven by impulse. So stop being the emotional emergency hotline for people who disappear the moment they feel okay. Stop explaining your boundaries. Stop apologizing for needing space. Silence is not rejection, it's reflection. And those who fear your silence, they were never listening in the first place. So ask yourself honestly, who's really upset when you don't reply? Who's really angry when you stop playing the role? And what does that reveal? Because once you stop feeding the projections, once you break the pattern, you stop being a puppet and start being a mystery. And that, my friend, is when everything changes. You don't need to burn bridges. You just need to stop walking across them for people who never took a step toward you. This isn't about arrogance. This is about alignment, not rejection, but redirection, not revenge, but rebirth. So if you feel tired, drained, overlooked, you're not broken. You're just too available to people who don't deserve your energy. Say it now and say it proudly. I choose my peace. Drop it in the comments. Let's see how many are ready for this shift. Because from here on, we don't chase. We don't explain. We protect our energy like the sacred force it is. And in that silence, we rise.